Happy Thursday! 4 p.m. on Thursday, I'm back with my weekly Facebook Live, and I am going to do mostly focus on a project demonstration today. Don't have a lot of announcements, so we'll be jumping to the demonstration pretty quickly. And if you're joining the call, just do leave a comment. Let me know who you are, where you're from. I always like to know who I'm with here on the lives. And if you come for the replay, definitely comment and let me know anything you think about the video. Love to hear comments, and we'll always respond to questions and whatnot. So I think I said before people got on, just to repeat myself a little bit, today is mostly going to be focused on a project demonstration. Hi Marilyn, welcome. Going to have just a few quick little announcements, reminders, and then we're going to go straight to the demonstration. So I'm going to jump right in. So quick recap, you guys know that Celebration is going on right now, and there's free stuff for people who purchase product. There's additional hostess benefits for anybody who hosts a party, and the party sales are at $250 or more. Hi Kathy. Hi Carol, welcome. And of course, when you join, when you buy the starter kit, it's an amazing deal. You get $175 worth of product for just $99, and then there is a second option where you can spend $129 and get the craft and carry tote as well. So you still get $175 of free product. So, I mean, not free, it's not all free. You spend $99, but you're getting some free product, a lot of free product too. So very fun. Let's see, I see Prairie, Wisconsin, cool. Sun Prairie, I never heard of that. That's pretty cool. And New Hampshire, and let's see, ooh, Carol from Belgium. Wow, long ways away. I always like to know, what time is it in Belgium? Or whatever foreign country when somebody's joining in. So definitely comment and let us know. Okay, so one other quick little announcement besides the fact that Celebration's going on right now. I have joined a group. It's called the Simple Sweet Stampers, and it's a group of 8 demonstrators that are collaborating to create a tutorial bundle. So we'll each be doing a PDF, we're doing a tutorial for a project that we've designed that's going to be focused around a specific suite, a product suite. And in this case, most of them will be from the Occasions catalog, I believe. Hi Cindy, welcome. So the product suite we're featuring in February, which will be our very first month doing it, is the All My Love suite. And I've shared several projects using that suite already. Last week, actually, the Valentine projects featured that same suite. And we're going to go live with that first tutorial on, okay, remembering the date, February 7th, I think it is. I think it's February 7th. I really should know the date right now. Oh, 22 hours. 22 hours, not too late. Does that 22 hours ahead, behind? I'm so confused about what you mean. Anyway, so whatever, if you can clarify, that'd be great. What time is it in Belgium? What is 22 hours? Would that be, 10 o'clock at night? Yeah, 10 o'clock at night. Okay, anyway, pondering the comment. Okay. So where was I? Oh yes, the tutorial bundle. So there'll be a couple ways to get it. If you join my team, all my team members are going to have a copy of that, have access to that PDF with the 8 tutorials every month for free. They won't have to pay anything for that. That'll just be available to them on the team Facebook page. And if you're a customer, there will be a minimum purchase level, and you'll get that tutorial bundle when you purchase product from my online store. So that should be pretty fun. The projects this month are really cool. We had to submit them about a week ago, I guess. So one of the team members, the person who's leading it, she's putting together the PDF. So this will be our first time in February, and I'm very excited to be a part of this group. So that's my big one announcement today. So the projects that I have planned, something that I created, a couple of projects that I created back when the annual catalog first came out. And I'm using a set that I think is probably overlooked or somewhat forgotten in the annual catalog. I think it's a really pretty set, but I haven't seen a whole lot of things out there with it. And actually, before I go on, I do want to invite you or ask you, hey Pam, welcome, to share this Facebook Live as it's happening. Last week I asked you all to share in the hopes of getting to a certain number of live viewers, and we fell short of that, but several of you did share, which was really awesome. So just trying to build up my following on these Facebook Lives, and hope to get more viewers. So please do feel free to share. I would love you to do that either while you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Hi, Ellen. Ellen. That came out sounding like Helen. I know who you are. All right, so the stamp set we're featuring today, I'm actually using 2 stamp sets, but the one I'm talking about in the annual catalog is the Peaceful Place, and let me see if just thinking, should I try to turn around? Okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to try to turn this. Oh, geez, I don't see the setting to do it. I'm afraid to do it. I think I'm going to have to test doing this. Anyway, you can see the images in this set. You're getting, of course, the backwards text, but one of these days I'll figure that out. I keep saying that, so I promise I will. You're going to turn it around. Okay, so the other set we're going to use is this one called By the Bay, and this is a celebration set. So this one is available as a free item with a $50 purchase between now and the end of March. So those are the ones I'm going to use. So let's see, what else can I tell you? I think, and I'll just, I guess, show you them in the catalog. So this is the By the Bay set. You can see they've done a couple of samples up there right next to the cute little rooster, which I love. I haven't yet to create anything with that rooster, but I will be soon. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. And then the set in the annual catalog. Oh, and I just lost the page. Okay, well, I showed you the set, so... But what I was going to show you is that in the annual catalog, the samples that they show, they show one sample of this Peaceful Place set, and it just doesn't really do it justice. It's a beautiful set of images. So anyway, hopefully I will do it better justice today. Okay, so does anybody have that set, by the way, Peaceful Place? Or has anybody ordered the By the Bay? Tell us if you've created anything with it. That would be very fun. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the camera facing down so that you can see my work surface, and I'm going to turn the lights and everything. So just bear with me while I do that for 1 sec. Hopefully it won't be too noisy or too glary. Now there's my forest, my winter forest. All right, so I think I told you last week and probably the week before that I ordered this a new contraption, equipment to hold my phone so I could do these Facebook Lives a little bit more elegantly, and it still hasn't arrived. I ordered it on December 31st and it still hasn't arrived, but I managed to make it a little bit less noisy today in turning the camera, so I don't want to make you guys sick when I turn it. Alrighty, so I'm just checking my computer, see if I see me live. I trust I'm live. I think it's all going well. Usually I try to see it on my computer while I'm on. Gives me that reassurance that everything's working. And I'm not seeing it, but I trust. I will trust. Okay, so, and now's the point where I can't really see your comments, especially if I don't have enough on my computer and it's not wanting to show up. So I will stand up and every once in a while look and see your comments, and if I don't, if I'm not able to respond during the live, I will respond afterwards. So you can probably see down here on my work surface, got a lot of different supplies. So these are the 3 designs that I've made with the Peaceful Place set. And they're each a little bit different, and so there's one, and there's 2. I'm going to show you how I did each of these variations, and let's see. I think I'm going to start with this one. So you might have noticed this one is done with the glossy white cardstock, and this one is also glossy white. And this one is actually the shimmer paper, and I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty subtle. but it's actually really pretty in person. And there's a little story behind this one. And as I do them, I'm going to explain it. Now, what I've done is I've already stamped the images, so that way it sort of saves me a step. And I haven't necessarily used the same paper for the same layout. So I'm going to put my cards aside and then just start showing you some stuff. So I'm going to start with my little image, and I can do this in a couple of different ways. So the first way I'm going to do is with my acrylic blocks. I'm using one of my big acrylic blocks, and I'm going to apply ink. I'm going to start with my light ink, and I'm really just like getting a bunch of ink on there. And now what I'm trying to do is think about it in reverse, right? So I kind of want to see green over on this side, which is sort of the opposite side, because I'm going to be turning it over, right? So I'm taking, that's the soft sea foam ink, and I'm taking some Granny Apple Green. This really brightens it up a lot. It's so much fun. And I'm going to just sort of put it around the edges a little bit. And you can see I'm doing it on the right, even though most of that's going to be in reverse and show up on the left. And then I'm going to use my light blue. This is the Balmy Blue. I've been using this a ton lately. This is one of the new colors, and I love it. Now, the tricky part here is I don't really want to be mixing my colors, but I can see some green in there. So I'm going to kind of try to stay in this general vicinity and not get the green onto the blue. And now last but not least, I'm using some of my Blueberry Bushel. It's a bright dark blue, and I'm going to get that kind of just on the edges. Create some contrast here. Has anybody done this before? I've done this a bunch, and I love this technique. It's kind of like a sneaky way to get a watercolor background without all the work and worry about how it's going to come out. So, you know what? I think I'm going to zoom in just a little. Will it let me? No, I don't think it'll let me zoom in on Facebook. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take my water bottle. This is just straight up water, and I'm going to spray, and I got one. Okay, that was. Now, how much water comes out of this depends on if you press the whole thing down or if you just press halfway. So it's, you know, it's not a science. Remember, this is an art. So I've just done 2 full ones, and I'm going to do a third one. You can see the ink is just starting to move on there. If I have too much ink, it's going to get super watery, which is actually okay. If I don't have enough ink, it's going to end up kind of getting stuck in places. I'm going to do just a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm actually literally going to stamp over the top of this. You see how it all kind of smushes in there? And when you pick it up, let's make sure it's all covered, you can see how you get this darker color where it pools as the paper sort of bows. So I can sort of decide where I want that color to end up by how I lift up the block. So you see how it sort of pulled to the left as I was doing it. So there's my end result. So now, you know, this image is very forgiving as far as where the colors are. My main goal was just to make sure that the sky looked blue. And of course, trying to get the greens down here. If you watercolor it more precisely, of course, you're going to be able to control where the colors are. Maybe you want some blue in here, but that's a little bit hard to do. But I am going to show you on one of the other projects, I'm going to try something that I haven't tried before, but something that we'll see if it works, but we'll get to that in just a second. Hi, Allison. Have I missed anybody? I guess you're the last person, so I can't really see the comments too well because I'm now focusing down. Okay, so there's number 1, and that's just inking up the acrylic block with your stamp pads, your ink pads, and then stamping right on there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my markers, and now that first one was the shimmer white paper, and this one is glossy paper. Just a point of information. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to be a little bit more deliberate about how I get my color on here and where it goes. So, and I'm also going to use my markers. So let's start with, let's see, I'll start with my green. And now I have to think of this in reverse, my image in reverse, right? So this is my brain exercise for the day. So I'm thinking the green's over here. This is going to be hard. Okay, because I have to think in reverse. Let's think about this. All right, I can hold it up. There we go, I'll hold it up. I'm visualizing where the parts are that I want to be green. Is this making sense? Okay, I'm doing it on the back side. I have to do it on this side. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's going to be too hard to go upside down. Okay, so I'm trying to get some green like on the banks, right, on either side. And then I want this guy to be green. I'm trying to get some green in there. So I just used the dark green. Let's see, do I want some light green? I'm basically trying to paint in. I should have done my light color first, right? Because I don't want to get my dark green on my light green. So I'm trying to be real careful there. Okay, now I'm going to do my light blue and kind of filling in. Here I'm going to try to get okay, the water. I'm trying to make the water blue instead of green like in that first one. And I want the sky all blue. So what you're going to find, I think, from my experience, is that by putting it on with markers, I'm trying to, of course, control a little bit about where I go, but it's also going to be lighter. I'm getting generally less ink on there, so when I turn it over and I stamp on my paper, it's going to be some lighter tones. So I'm going to add more water, so I mix some of it up more. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe do one more. 5. Okay. Now you'll also notice that this paper is bigger than the last one, because on those other designs I had some that were big and some that were small. The one that was small is covered fully, but this one isn't. And I did that because I wanted to have the natural frame of the block, that the block itself creates the frame. So now I'm going to use some colored paper back in here. Don't really need both. And the reason for that is so that I can see the outline of the piece of cardstock that I've stamped. Because if I'm trying to do it on white, there's a white piece, it's much harder to see that outline. And when I turn this over, it's going to be really hard to tell if I have it in the right position. So, colored paper, handy to have around. And this paper is from sometime a million years ago when my kids were little and we were doing art projects and I needed colored paper. Okay, so you can see how it's all kind of smooshing in there. Well, I just bumped the camera with my head. Okay, and here we go. So now you can see, like I said, it's a little bit lighter, and I've got a droplet of color there, which I like, but if I leave it and move it, it's going to dribble off the side. So I'm going to use a little piece of paper towel to get a tiny bit of it up without taking too much of it away. And these are each going to turn out a little bit different every time. You can see I did get some blue into the water, which I'm happy about that. Now granted, there's also some green in the water, but that's okay. This is art, right? So on this one, you can see I got a whole bunch of sort of extra ink in there, and it just created a kind of an interesting look to it. But so each one's going to be different. So this one, of course, is going to have this bright, bold bit of green on the right-hand side. But we'll see what it looks like when it dries, too, right? So, okay, so that's number 2. And I was going to do a number 3, but I'm not sure why. I don't think I actually need to do the number 3. So this one is the one I want to focus on for the moment, because I did an extra step that I want to show you called shadow stamping. And when I did it the first time, it was, I well, it was one of the 3 examples I showed you. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this from like a summer card into a winter card by overlaying white embossing powder. Now I have to dry this completely before I do that, otherwise the whole thing's going to turn white, so I'm going to be noisy for a second. So here we go. I stamped on the back side in case I didn't like how the first one came out. That's what I always do. I like options. Okay. I want to make sure that that's totally dry, otherwise this next thing's going to be a big old mess. Okay, so I'm taking my block away, and I'm just going to tap it with my embossing buddy, make sure that the powder isn't going to stick where it doesn't belong. That's part of why I dried it as well. And then I'm going to take my image from the set, put it on an acrylic block. I'm going to ink it up with my Versamark. And then I'm going to attempt to superimpose it right over the top of the black image, but not 100%, with the goal of trying to create a shadow. Okay, here we go. I might have to get my head in or pull it down this way. I think I'll pull it down this way. So, kind of looking at where the top is. So what are the chances that I get this directly over the top of the black and you can't see it underneath? Not very much, right? At least that's what I thought the first time I did this. All right, so now let's see where it actually showed up, because I don't know until I put the white on there, and then I'll just need to heat emboss it as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss it so we get our shadowy look. So here goes. All right, so now I've done my heat embossing. Now I'm going to show you the original one. I definitely was off more than I was on the first one, and I might want to sort of play with this a little bit, do a little bit more color in here so that you get some more contrast between the white and the background, but it's essentially like a winter card now. So here's the surprise. This one, I did exactly the same thing as I just showed you, but I managed to, there's actually black under there. I don't know how I managed to get the image almost directly superimposed, but if you look at it closely, you see there's the tiniest little shadow of the black in behind. So I was sort of trying to create the look here. I actually like what I did here a little bit better, but maybe once I add some color in, it'll show up to be a little bit more pretty. Besides, okay, so then the other thing is, you guys all probably know this, as soon as you put your focal piece on a page with some backings, it changes it a lot too. So let's see how our other one looks right now. So that one just had a simple blue backing. Got a lot more green in there than the other one. All right, well, so that was kind of pretty much what I wanted to show you. Oh, no, there's one other thing. Oh, now I remember what it is. Okay, one other thing, I forgot to show you the By the Bay set. So I had this brainstorm. This is the thing that I have not tried myself, and I thought I would just try it on camera for fun. So I stamped a couple of these focal pieces from the By the Bay set, and I have created a few things with this. One that's super simple, just straight up espresso on crumb cake ink, espresso ink on crumb cake cardstock, and then this one which I watercolored, and of course, and it's shimmer white paper on there, and the shimmer white paper is really good for watercoloring. Plain white paper is not so good for it, but I thought I might try. So this one is a more complicated image than the Peaceful Place one, right? So I can kind of get away with blues and greens in various places, but this one, I've got so much more going on. So what I'm about to try might turn out to be a total mess. And if it does, we've done it together. So here's what I did. So I wanted to do something of what I did with the acrylic block a little while ago, but do it in a bit of a more controlled way. So I thought, well, I could just put the acrylic block over the top and then use my markers to kind of color as if they were in the spots that they were going to go in, right? It's kind of what I tried to do on the last one. But I realized that it's going to be in reverse, and you saw me sort of struggle with where I was going to get, where I put the markers to try to get them in the right place. So this was my little brainstorm. I feel so smart today. I stamped on a plastic bag, and this could be any plastic, and then I thought, oh, I'll just turn it over. Okay, now this better work, because I thought I was being so smart, and now that I've professed it, I'm so smart. So now I'm just going to put my block right onto my reverse image of that image, and now I'm going to color it. And this is going to be challenging because, you know, we're talking about a lot of different colors, and I'm going to add more colors, but you never know. Maybe it's going to turn out amazing. That's always my wish. So I'm going to take the example that I have already created, put that over here so I can sort of try to get the similar color placement. And I'm going to close my ink pads so they don't dry out, because I'm not using my ink pads anymore. Are you guys crazy anal about closing your ink pads? I kind of am. Hi, Fran. Hi, Amy. Just happening to look at the comments, standing up and looking. Okay, so here we go. This is what I'm going to try. So I'm going to kind of go a little bit simpler with the colors than I did on the original one, just because I think this is going to be hard to achieve. But we'll start with the neutrals, I think. And I'm going to just kind of color it in as if I were coloring the thing underneath. So can you guys see the image underneath? Okay. Doing a little bit of the house. It's hard to actually see the color. Maybe white would be better. I need a white piece of paper. Hold on. I have white paper. So much for there's a good application for green, but this is not it. Okay, so now I can see my color a little bit better. That's good. Okay, so now I'm going to do my light green on the grass. And it's sort of hard to think about this in reverse because I'm looking at the image that I colored, not in reverse. Okay, just gonna add a few little dabs of the darker green here and there. It's like I'm watercoloring blind. Okay, sky, no, ocean, we're doing water. A little bit of dark blue maybe. Do you guys think this is going to turn out, or it's going to be a big mess? You want to comment? You think this is going to be a big mess? Okay, now my sky. My yellow sky, as if it's, what would it be? Sunrise, sunset? And I got a little bit of mango, so that was the, what is it, pineapple punch. Now I'm putting in a little bit of mango. It's a darker color than yellow, so it should be okay to do it over the top of that. And I think I might take a little bit of my espresso and just darken some of the ground. Maybe add some dark on whatever that is, the bench or whatever, wall. Okay, now the roof of my house. I think I did the house already. I'm gonna just do a tiny bit there. And a tiny bit on that little roof, and a tiny bit on the door. This is gonna be interesting. That's part of the fun. Okay, so now to spray. And again, this is, you know, less ink because it's not the ink pads, it's the markers. But we're gonna spray it, and then I probably should get my paper towels back. I don't need this anymore. Okay, now I'm going to turn this over. I think I'm going to use the glossy version that I just stamped and kind of try to line it up. See what happens. Ooh, ah. The house is on fire. Oh, sorry, this is too funny. Okay, the house is on fire. What do you think of that? That's too funny. Okay, it's not funny that the house is on fire. Actually, the aim was not too bad in the end. It's an interesting experiment. What do you guys think? Comment. Would you try it again? This might be too detailed an image to do this with, but I thought it was worth the effort to just at least try it. So, I guess now I am really done with my project demonstration, and you might want to try my little plastic bag trick to get your reverse image if you feel brave, but maybe use a less complicated image and see what you come up with. So as always, I will take my projects and put them on a blog post that will go live tomorrow, and I will be uploading this video also to YouTube as well, so other people can check it out and see what we've done. And what else? Go check out that the Peaceful Play stamp set. Give it some love. Consider buying it, and get a free item from the Celebration catalog too while you're at it. And if you have any questions, definitely post them here, and I will be sure to respond. And I'll see you next Thursday at 4 p.m. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and have a great evening. Bye.